Monday morning, let's go. Just about to have my breakfast. I'll show you what I've got, if you can see. Omelette with chicken and some kind of like tomato sauce. Trying out a new place for meal prep, because obviously I've moved now. Gonna do a little bit of a tour in this video actually. But Progetto Acai, just outside the marina, for anyone that knows Dubai. Unbelievable for acai bowls, but they also do like eggs and stuff like that, obviously. So I've got that. Makes a nice change from the place I used to order from. But Monday morning, I've just done 2 hours flat out of check-ins, working my way through those. Did an 8K easy run this morning, which wasn't that easy, to be honest. It was so humid. I feel like all I do is complain about the weather whenever I mention the running, but it is absolutely relentless. So I'm hoping that it's gonna cool off a little bit over the next few weeks, but good to just get 8K in the legs. This week, obviously it's week 3 of the 16-week marathon prep. 8K today, 14K tempo run tomorrow, 10K on Thursday, easy again. Probably do that on the treadmill, to be honest, and then 18K on the weekend. So that would have put me at 50K for the week. I might do a little bit longer on Thursday if I'm feeling good, but my main kind of like feedback from last week with the training was some of the runs were a little bit too quick, because I was pushed for time on my easy run. I had to speed it up, and then I ran a little bit too fast on the long run on Saturday because I just wanted to get through it. So I'm going to really focus on bringing the intensity down on the runs this week, apart from the tempo one tomorrow, going a little bit slower, and I feel like my body will feel a little bit better for it. Monday's super busy. I need to drive to my old apartment, sort the Wi-Fi out, get an upper body training session in, finish off these check-ins, and get a lot of food in as well, because I think I probably dropped weight over the last few days. I haven't been eating enough. I've still been eating really clean, but just not getting enough carbs in because of moving and stuff like that. It's obviously not an excuse, so need to improve on that this week. But I'll check in throughout the day, and I'll try and get some clips when I go to the gym later on. Good afternoon, people. It is Tuesday. As promised, I want to give you a little bit of an apartment tour. I'm just about to head down to the gym in the building to do my marathon pace tempo session on the treadmill. So as I go down, I'll show you the pool, the outdoor area, and the gym. As I mentioned in the last vlog, I don't think they like you filming in the gym, but I'll try and get a few clips because this camera isn't too big. So I'll take you to the door. One sec. So we walk in here. What we got on the left is just a cupboard with a washing machine. And then we have obviously the breakfast side. Came furnished with everything, so I haven't actually had to buy anything here, which is amazing. Came with a really nice Nespresso machine. I just got my fueling strategy ready for my run. Pocari Sweat, 2 gels, 14K today, so a big one. Need to be intaking some carbs, water as well. But this is obviously like the main room. This is just a 1-bed in an apartment block in Emaar Beachfront. So for anyone that knows Dubai, you can see the marina there. This is the desk setup that I have. Mentioned in the last video, moved the small couch outside to free up a little bit of space. Obviously we have like carpet, we do some stretching, TV, really nice, well, decent sized bathroom. Bathroom's not too big, but the actual shower is really big, which is really nice. Really pleased with that. And my favorite room of the whole place is definitely the bedroom. When I saw this online on the listing, I was like, wow, I need to have that. I just love the natural light there. As you can see, it's a corner facing apartment. So you've got the marina view there. And then, I mean, there's not too much of a view here. It's just the other apartment blocks, but I just loved how, you know, really nice natural light. That's the most important thing for me in an apartment, is having natural light. So could not be more pleased with this place, to be honest. Really nice, and to be honest, like, it's a very similar price to what I've always paid in Dubai. So it's definitely an upgrade in terms of location, but it's not really costing me anymore, which is amazing. Really big balcony, which I showed you the other day. It's really humid, so this is kind of fogging up already. Wow. But yeah, we've got the sofa there, and then L-shaped balcony looking onto the palm as well. So yeah, absolutely love it. So that's a little bit of a rundown of the actual apartment. And then, as I say, on my way to the gym, I'll film a little bit, but the amenities are unbelievable in the building as well. Massive infinity pool looking over the Palm with massive communal space, loads of seats, tables, all that sort of stuff, sun lounges. And then the gym is decent. As I say, it's just an apartment gym, like you can't really expect too much, I don't think, but I've trained 2 weight sessions here since I've been here, and I've had really good sessions. Obviously I've had to adapt the training a bit, had to change some of the exercises, but don't mind doing that. It's more about the intensity and making sure that you just having a good hard training session. But I've been so busy with work and kind of like settling into this place that I haven't actually been to another gym since I've lived here. I've just been training there, but tomorrow I'm going to go out probably to the warehouse or TK and do legs. I just want a bit more equipment there with like the hamstring curl, leg extension and stuff like that. But yeah, 14k. I probably won't video it. I might video a little bit, but it's literally just going to be me running on the treadmill for about an hour and 15 minutes. The setup for the session is 2k easy warm up, 10k at marathon pace. But as I've said before, we're aiming for around 310, so I'll probably do this 10k at between probably a 420 and a 430 per kilometer pace. There's no need to go any quicker than that because I'm just adding extra intensity to the training throughout the week, which I don't need, to be honest. As I mentioned in the last video that probably should be going up tonight, some of my runs were a little bit quick last week, which left the body feeling a little bit sore. So I almost want to try and minimize intensity this week whilst still staying within the targets for the training session. And then Thursday, I have another 10 to 12k easy run, depending on how I'm feeling. And then 18k again on the weekend. So gonna get down, get ready for it now. Can do a little bit of glute activation, some hip flexor stretches as well, because I'm always feeling a little bit tight through the midsection there, and then we'll get into it. 14k in the bank, all showered, back at the desk for the back shift. Got 3 client calls over the next 3 hours. Then I'm going to get a haircut. I'm going to work till like 9 o'clock because why not? Wait in the growth phase. But that run was amazing. Like genuinely one of the best runs relative to how it felt, relative to the pace in a long time. 4:15 just felt so easy, like probably a 6 to a 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. Obviously only 10k, and I'll be looking to do that for a whole marathon in March, but nonetheless felt really, really good. You know, there might be a little bit of a difference in the treadmill variation pace compared to last week, but it wouldn't be significant to the point where it felt way, way easier. I do think I probably dropped a little bit of body weight over the last week, but again, we're probably talking half a kilo, so nothing significant there. But I think that's just a result of all the running over the last, 5 years, and the higher mileage weeks over the last couple of months between 45 and 52k just starting to pay off. That difference between 25-30k a week and 45 to 50 plus, like, it's been huge for me. That's where I noticed big improvements in fitness. If I hang around the kind of 30k a week mark, I can't hope to get fitter really. But yeah, felt really, really good. 14k in just over an hour. I'll insert the clip I got on my phone, it's just me running, and I'll insert the pace as well. I think the average pace for the entire run, including the warm up and cool down, was 4:32. So really pleased with that. And that was the last, what we call, intensity session for the next 13 days. So 2 weeks today I'll be doing intervals again, but it's going to be harder intervals, below 4-minute pace, probably around, I think, the 3:40, 3:45 pace. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't done any hard intervals in the last 5 or 6 weeks because it hasn't been on the plan. It's just been the marathon pace tempo segments. So until then, it's all easy, slower aerobic running. The long run on the weekend, I might get out of the aerobic zone into probably like low to mid zone 3, but nonetheless it's not hard intervals. So yeah, body's feeling good, and over the next 13 days it'll just be a good opportunity to just clock more miles, continue working on that form, just get the body used to it, and then we'll turn that base into speed in week 5. So yeah, really pleased with that. Just ordered some meal prep, chicken, rice, veggies, as always. I'm gonna get stuck in here. Yes, people, what's happening? Whipped out the mic today. Hopefully you can hear me because it's a little bit of noise on the balcony. But Thursday morning, just wanted to give you a little bit of an update as to how the week's going, what I've got left in terms of training this week. I'm actually getting the Wi-Fi installed today, which is amazing because I think I've spent about £150 on data over the last week, just doing all my calls, all my content and stuff, and the coffee shop downstairs, horrendous Wi-Fi. But so Thursday for me now, since I shifted my training, is an easy run day. So I'm going to do between 10 and 12k today, depending on how I'm feeling. If I'm really into it on the treadmill, I'll push for 12k. But the reason that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself there is because I've agreed to do 21k on Saturday with one of my friends who's also training for the same marathon as well. I have 18 programmed, but realistically, apart from the speed session I did the other day, it's all just easy aerobic-ish miles on the plan this week. So basically I can just pull away a couple of kilometers from today and then do a couple of kilometers extra on Saturday. Well, obviously it'll be an extra 3, which would have me, I think, between 53 and 55k this week, which would be the highest mileage week that I've done in a long time, probably ever, to be honest, apart from when I actually did my marathon. But I'm feeling really, really good. Body's feeling great. Definitely dropped a little bit of weight over the last week, I think, just because I've just been really busy with moving stuff around, haven't eaten quite as much. But I'm not really upset about it, to be honest, because I feel very light at the moment. But I feel like I'm still retaining all my muscle and my strength. So yeah, it's all in a good position basically, and I'm looking forward to ticking off this week, and then next week will all be aerobic work. If the body's feeling good after the 21k on the weekend, I will do 4 aerobic runs next week. If it's feeling a little bit sore, I will put in a conditioning session off the feet instead of an easy run. So probably just some bike, ski and row work, again, just to get 4 cardio sessions in across the course of the week. But in these recovery weeks, which is what obviously I do and we do with clients as well that we coach in the program, we just kind of leave it up to how they're feeling. But I'm still going to be hitting probably like at least 35k, probably 40k across 3 to 4 runs. So it's definitely not a rest week, but the volume and the intensity of the running drops down, because then the week after that, the volume and the intensity builds again. So we'll be going into week 5 after next week, and that's where things start to get more fun in terms of we're going to start to do some harder intervals, and we're going to start putting some race pace work into the long runs on the weekend. So realistically for I would say probably week 5, 6, probably 7 as well, I'll have to do them on the treadmill because I'm not going to be able to hit those paces outside at the moment. Maybe a 4:30 pace, we'll just see, but everything's moving in the right direction. So the main focus for me from now on is just stay on top of sleep, recovery, nutrition, obviously training, and avoid injury at the same time, because as I keep saying, the body's feeling good and I don't want it to take a step back. Realistically, the highest mileage week that we'll probably do on this prep would be probably 65k. So if I'm doing 52 to 55 at the moment, it's not too much of an increase. I don't think we'll have any issues. The only difference is that I'll basically be running fast and hard twice a week as opposed to once a week, but that's obviously the nature of a prep. So apart from that, everything is going well. Just officially announced the new coach that we brought on board for the brand today on socials, which I'm so happy about, because I was starting to stress a lot last week because we had a busy week last week. We brought on 5 new clients. We had a few calls booked in for this week, and I'm at capacity in terms of the clients that I coach. I actually want to bring down my client numbers. I'll talk about that in a second. My full-time coach, Harry, is give or take 1 or 2 clients at capacity.
And then similar to Peter, the performance coach that I have as well, who is part-time at the moment, he can probably only take 1 or 2 more, which he'll be doing next week. So I hired a new coach called Fred, who I've actually known of for years. He's from Newcastle, same place as me, went to school with one of my friend's brothers. And he is a PT, but also a physiotherapist as well. He's based out of Sydney. I think he moved over there around 6 months ago. So actually all the coaches, apart from me, are in Australia now. So I think that's kind of like the world telling me that I need to go to Sydney and Australia and check it out. Definitely want to do that hopefully next year. But he's going to be a great addition to the team. Like he's in great shape. He's fit. He's got a lot of muscle mass. He competes in running in high rocks as well. But he's very professional too, which is what we need people for the sort of clients that we coach, the kind of higher caliber people. But just in terms of what I was saying about my own client numbers, like I now have 3 coaches to manage. I have a small sales team of 2 turning into 3 next week to manage as well. So I just need to pull down the amount of time that I'm coaching clients, because I'm working with quite a lot of clients at the moment. I could probably do with reducing that by around 30 to 40% over the next 6 months. That would take a lot of the pressure off me, and most importantly just allow me to allocate more energy to training my team, helping them, and working on the marketing and the sales side of things. And kind of what I've realized like recently is like, you know, I want to build a really good brand, like a large brand over the next 10 years. And I'm not saying that coaching isn't worth my time. Like I absolutely love coaching the right people, and I think I will always coach 20 clients for the next few years because I really, really enjoy doing it. But my time is better spent elsewhere, helping my team so that I can help them coach the clients that they're coaching and have a much greater impact on the industry. Because at some point you have to decide, you know, do you just want to be a coach or do you want to be a brand builder and have massive impact? Because it's obviously there's people that are doing it, but it's virtually impossible to coach more than 80 clients at a high level. So if you have ambitions of working with more than that amount of clients in the future, then you're going to have to obviously build a team and do it that way. And my coaches are amazing. We get amazing feedback from the clients. I think a lot of coaches think that they can only be the one that can possibly coach people. They struggle to delegate. I don't struggle to delegate. I would say I'm actually quite good at it, and I'm definitely quite good at building a team. But I think it's time for me to reduce my coaching hours and work on the bigger stuff. So that's the plan. A little bit of an update. Obviously, you know, hiring people, bringing people on, it comes with a slight risk in the sense that you're bringing on new costs to the business, but it's the necessary steps that have to be taken to get it to the next level. And like this time next year, I would love to have 4 or 5 coaches working under me, with Harry becoming the coaching manager and helping me manage the team as well. So that's the vision. I want to get the business in the medium term to 200 clients, and then we'll reassess. We're around 140 now, so there's a big way to go, but there's also not too far to go. I know what it's going to take to get there. I know the numbers. I've worked backwards from them. We've increased by that amount of numbers in less than a year, so there's no reason why we can't do it again. And I think just the more effort that I put into videos like this, even if they don't get too many views, it grows the brand, it builds the reputation. So that's the goal. So I'm going to get my trainers on and head down to the gym, do this run on the treadmill, and then I'm on calls later on.
Yes, people. It is windy this morning. It's Saturday now, just about to head out on a 20k run. So it actually doesn't feel that warm, but I think it's probably because of the wind. So yeah, it should be okay. I don't think I filmed yesterday, but I did a full body training session, which was really, really good. Actually I've just woken up, that's why I look all puffy, but full body training session at TKMMA. Just wanted to get it done, didn't want to film. It's similar to the one last week. But basically yesterday I got in just over 500 grams of carbs through my own nutrition, and then went out for a Nando's last night. Managed to get, I think, like 180 grams of carbs in at the Nando's, which was a lot. So I'm feeling fueled and ready. I'm not going to eat anything this morning. The fueling strategy for this run is very similar to last week. Two
2 Gatorades, I think 60 grams of carbs between the two of them, 30 each. Wow, it is so windy. And then 3 gels, 22 grams, so 122 grams in total across this run, which should be absolutely fine. Don't need to be doing more than that, so just over 60 grams of carbs per hour. And then, yeah, I'm just going to get ready. So I'm meeting my mate Josh, who lives in the building. He actually lives in the building that way. And yeah, we're going to get it done. I'm not sure of the route. He's lived here longer than me, so he said he's got a good route around the marina with water fountains and stuff like that. So I'm going to get into it. I'm going to do a little bit of stretching, some glute activation work, have a little bit more water, but not too much, because a mistake that I have made in the past is drinking too much water before the run and then needing the toilet. And it's just not necessary if we're going to be taking in like probably 1.5 to 2 litres on the run. So yeah. But yeah, I'm barely awake, as you can see. But it is 2 minutes to 6 a.m. now. This run, I think, should probably take us just under 2 hours. We're going to run it at, I think, a nice 5:40, 5:45 pace, so that we can talk and keep it low intensity. And then after that, I have a little bit of work to do, and then I'm going to go down to the creek and chill with one of my friends later on. But I'm going to do a little bit of content in between that. So yeah, gonna get stuck in. I'll take some videos on the run and I'll report back after.
And then he asked you for PT. Look at that. Sick. We're 12k in, just finishing it off around the marina now. Second gel. How long left? Well, I guess 8k.
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Quick maths.
There we go. 20k in the legs. I got a few clips on the run, so obviously would have put them before this, but it's still pretty windy, but it didn't really matter, to be honest. Didn't really affect the run. Felt really, really good there. Big confidence boost in the heat. I'll post a screenshot of the stats, but just over 20k, average heart rate 148. Managed to keep it mostly aerobic until probably the last 3 kilometers when the sun came out. It got a little bit hotter, but nonetheless, big confidence boost. And the change in the weather from last week 2 18k to this week 20k is just massive, like so good. So next week is a recovery week, so we're not going to be pushing any big distances or paces. I think I've got 16k on Sunday, which should be absolutely fine. Might push it to 18k if I'm feeling good, and then the week after that we'll be back onto some race pace work, so hopefully by then it's cooled down another little bit as well. But I'm loving it. Just fitness is in a really good spot at the moment. Obviously you don't really feel it because of the heat, but I think when we get to by the time we get to mid-October, November, I'll realise how fit I am. That 10k at marathon pace, 4:15 on Tuesday felt absolutely amazing. Like, just such a breeze. I definitely don't think I could hold that for a marathon, but nonetheless felt pretty good. So pleased with that. The body feels good as well. That's always been a worry for me, pushing up the mileage again, and then the intensity, because of the issues that I have with my hamstring and my hip. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but if this is the first one that you're watching, basically I had my ACL reconstructed when I was 14, I think. So basically I snapped my cruciate ligament in my knee, and then back then the operation that you would get in order to help fix that injury, quote unquote fix, would be a hamstring graft, where basically the surgeon cuts off a bit of your hamstring from your leg and puts it in your knee, and then over time that becomes basically your new ligament. But obviously if you cut a bit of muscle off, it's never going to grow back. So my right hamstring is literally smaller. It's always going to be smaller because there's just a bit of muscle missing there. So it's much weaker than my left side, and I get a lot of tightness around the hip in the kind of glute med, TFL hip flexor sort of area. I'm managing it well, but I do notice it all the time. But it's probably in the best position that it's been in for a long time, because again, I am managing it really well with recovery and strength training and stuff. So that's always been my worry, to like push up the mileage, as I don't want to make that worse. But I'm handling it well, and like we've done 52k this week, and I think the highest mileage week we'll probably do will be like 65 to 67k in this whole prep. So it's not too much of a difference. So things are looking good. The body's feeling a lot better than I thought it would, to be honest. But yeah, big focus for next week, week 4, with it being recovery week, is I'm going to do 4 runs, but obviously there's going to be no intensity. They're all going to be easy runs. I'll probably aim to hit 40 to 45k next week, depending on how I'm feeling. But in these recovery weeks, like I mentioned earlier on in the video for clients, like we don't put any pressure on yourself in a recovery week. Obviously, tick the box, do the runs, but allow yourself to recover a little bit. And I'm going to put a huge emphasis on sleep as well. There's been a couple of days this week where I've got less than 6.5 hours sleep, which is not optimal for the amount of training that I'm doing and what I'm trying to do with work. So yeah, I'm going to allow myself to probably lay in a little bit more in a couple of days next week. Nutrition will be on point as well. It'll just be the same, sticking to between 3,000, 3,100 calories throughout the week, and slightly higher on the weekend. Obviously it's just 16k on the weekend, so I don't need to go too much higher on the carbs, but I'll put a little bit more carbs in on Friday, the day before the run. But yeah, just ticking over. But I'm excited to get into the second block with more speed work, because I do love doing intervals. I love pushing my heart rate up to high 170s, and I've not felt that for like the last 6 weeks. So yeah, everything's going well. I'm gonna have a shower, get some food, probably have some oats, and then head to have a coffee with one of my mates. And then I'm gonna head down to see some other mates and have a bit of a pool day, and then dinner, early night, and then work tomorrow. So yeah, that is the plan.